Morning viewers, welcome back to the channel, Seabreeze Rider channel. Today we're off to Sandringham Estate, which is the house and estate owned by King Charles III and previously by our beloved sovereign Queen Elizabeth II. The reason we're going today, really, for those that may be watching this abroad, death of our Queen last week, and we're in 7 days of public mourning. Fortunately, Anne and I managed to get up on Tuesday and see Her Majesty being escorted, obviously a coffin of Her Majesty being escorted from Northolt, which is an RAF base just outside of London, by the Special Escort Group. She came through London and we were very lucky to see her go past and to pay our respects. We were planning to go and attend a vigil, but sadly we were told it was something like a 20-hour wait, and so we had to have a plan B in action. So our plan B was to ride to Sandringham and we could pay our respects there, and then later we will go to Windsor Chapel and see where she lies after a burial. That's the plan anyway. So we will still show respects to Her Majesty, but just in a slightly different way. So our route is 104 miles through the counties of Essex and the counties of Suffolk, and then eventually into Norfolk, where Sandringham is. A little bit of history about Sandringham. It belonged, or it didn't always belong to the royal family. I think it was bought by the Prince of Wales, Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's son, back in about the 1860s, and then it's been really the royal family ever since, and it's been a retreat for Her Majesty all her life. She could go to Sandringham and chill out there. I suppose that's the best way, like as she did when she went to Scotland with Balmoral, away from public view. So that's why we're going. I haven't been to Sandringham for many years, and so it'd be nice to revisit. So that's the plan. What are we on today? We're on the Suzuki and the Kawasaki SX, and the ride is through the twisties, a little bit of dual carriageway. I will be videoing any points of interest as we go past, so I'll speak to you later. So here we've just stopped on our route to Sandringham, and this is a PA Woods Rolls-Royce dealership, and we keep driving past it and keep meaning to stop. As you can see, it's a beautiful old building, just oozes class, and it's in a little village called Great Easton, and you can see, going back in the day, it was obviously something to do with the motor industry. Obviously a dealership as it is now, and a couple of old petrol pumps outside. Absolutely uses class, doesn't it? And why not? It's Rolls Royce. A great place to come and buy a car. An old telephone box still there as well. Of course, they've all been decommissioned now because no one uses public phone boxes anywhere. But it's interesting because, of course, it has Her Majesty the Queen's crown, and they all have to change. So if these were still in working order, that crown would have to change to a king's crown because it's got a queen's crown above it. As will everything now we have a king. So big change ahead in United Kingdom. So we're going to continue our journey. And we're heading that way towards Thaxted. So we're just coming into a little town called Thaxted, and it's got a bit of history, Thaxted, for those people that have got any knowledge about classical music. Thaxted was the home of Gustav Holst. I think he was a music teacher at one of the school here, and of course Gustav Holst is famous for one particular piece of music called the Planet Suite, and one particular piece of Planet Suite is the song Jupiter, or the movement Jupiter. And Jupiter has got a lovely tune, and the words were set to it and made into a hymn, which is known as I Vow to Thee My Country. And that particular hymn is also known as Thaxted. So there you are, the usual piece of information there. It's a very quaint old town. Dates back to the medieval period. As you can see, full of thatched cottages and colourful buildings. Really, really pretty. Some of them are quite wonky, but obviously very old. 1500s, that sort of time. And then juxtaposition with the new modern buildings next to them as well. So yeah, nice little village, Thaxted. So we've done about half the journey so far. We're about 57 miles to go. We've gone from the county of Essex into the county of Suffolk, and we just clipped Cambridgeshire as well, which I wasn't expecting. I saw a sign saying I was in Cambridgeshire. As you can see, the weather's really good. It's a little bit chilly, but hardly a cloud in the sky, so it's good time of year to be riding. Not much on the road either, which is even better.
She was a game, ready for
So we're just coming into Ely, which is in Cambridgeshire, and you can see Ely Cathedral, which is one of the great medieval cathedrals in the United Kingdom. It's a really stunning piece of architecture. You can just see it in the distance, probably not great on the GoPro, but it's we are heading towards it. So we've taken a bit of a rest, got off the bikes for 5 minutes and decided that we were going to watch possibly the Cambridge team practicing for the boat race. Every year we have a university boat race, Oxford and Cambridge, and we just saw 3 teams coming out, 8s, so it could well be team A and B from Cambridge. Like one of them's having a rest. Yep, definitely Cambridge University boat race, or boat teams. There you go. Oh, how unfortunate, what a name, Prick Willow. So we've arrived at Sandringham, parked up, and we're just heading towards the estate house and the gates to look at all the flowers that have been laid in tribute to Her Majesty. So we're just walking across the fields now. You can see the crowds ahead of us. So we've just gone and seen all the flowers, which you can obviously see in the video. Try not to read too many messages because it gets very emotional. And now we're going to pop in and have a coffee before we head back home. Like you see, huge amounts of crowds here, huge. And rightly so as well. I suppose it's just paying respects to Her Majesty. And people want to share in the moment. So I'll speak to you later. Okay, so we're heading back now after visiting Sandringham House and the estate and seeing the wonderful floral tributes to Her Majesty. It's a great area, obviously Norfolk, it's very picturesque, tree lined. Must be wonderful when you could get in to the house and have a look around at some point. We may return. In the meantime, heading back, it says 110 miles, so it's going to take us a few hours to get back, and then we'll fill up with a bit of travel juice before we set off proper. Looks like the weather's going to stay good for us, and the wind has died down a little bit. It was a bit chillier earlier. The wind just made it slightly worse, not too bad. So that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video, despite its sad backdrop with the death of Her Majesty. But all things have a silver lining, all clouds have a silver lining, don't they? And we do have a new king now, King Charles III. So lots to look forward to in the future. So until my next video, I'll say goodbye and stay safe, ride safe, and speak to you soon.